What's up, folks? It's Thursday night. That, of course, means it's time for another Toypixx live stream. So thanks to everybody who's shown up so far. We're going to get to that very shortly here. But for tonight, the topic is, when are you done? I've been seeing this floating around lately, and it seems odd that it has suddenly kind of cropped up. And all I could figure is people are getting to this point where, I don't know, it's kind of like in high school when you sort of decide, man, I'm getting too old for this stuff. And then later on you come back to it, right? Now maybe it's part two of that. You know, you get to be a certain age and you're going, man, I'm getting too old for this stuff. And then maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, you go, crap, I need a little more of this stuff. So I don't know. I thought it would be an interesting topic. So for anybody catching this on the replay, let me know, when do you think you'll be done collecting action figures? Now, I will say for me, there would have to be a couple factors in play. First, I would have to actually not enjoy taking pictures of them. That I don't see happening anytime soon. But second, would have to be the possibility that I can no longer make money using these things to make money. So those things would have to intersect. And if that intersected, I'd probably still pick up some because I think they're cool. But I don't see me stopping anytime soon, especially with those two things being the crossover deal. I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. But of course, we've also got to consider things like maybe something comes up with the family and something happens where you just can't do it anymore. Let's exclude those parts of the conversation. Let's keep this to voluntarily. When do you think you're done with figure collecting? Now, just because I did want to show, hang on, what have I, oh no, I pushed the wrong key. Give me just a sec here, folks. Because you know how this starts. You know how these things are going to begin. I have to say, and I still haven't put this up on the socials, by the way, so I need to do that. But just so everybody knows, give me just a sec. I keep trying to go into it, and it's not ready just yet. So hang on, let me get there. I'm finally at least on the page. That felt like it took forever. And now, here we go. We will share here. March's Patreon photo contest theme is green. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the way this works is, first, find this post on the Toypixx Patreon page. And if you're a member of the Grande tier or higher, which is $5 or higher per month, you can participate. You could sign up today if you wanted. It doesn't have to be that you were a member for a month before you get to play. So what it is you're going to be taking a picture of something green. I mean, just it's kind of up to your imagination about the whole green thing. And the winner will end up receiving this Operation Monster Force Phantom Core Trooper, who was my figure of the year last year. Don't worry, this one's new. It's not mine. So yeah, the winner gets that. And the way that we do this, simply because I can't legally do something here without really spending a lot of money to get an actual license to do so, I can't spin a wheel or anything like that and say, you're the one that wins this. Instead, I have to make it a contest. And so this is a contest. You're going to send me the things, and people that are the patrons on the channel will end up voting for the winner. So that's how this works. You have until March 31st at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's what's going on with the old Patreon page. Now, why don't we jump in? And I'll get to the next thing a little later on. Actually, I'll just tell you, on this here very YouTube channel, last night I posted part 2 of my Super Musk. I guess it was kind of a review where I asked the question, how well does this work for action figure photography? And then I took some photos and answered how well it works for action figure photography. So if you haven't seen that yet, go back to the page, check it out, have some fun. It's what we're all here for, right? Anyway, now with all that out of the way, let's jump in and see what's going on in the comments section. We have sci-fi. Greetings and toytations, everyone. Greetings and toytations, sci-fi. What is going on? Ooh, weird. Sorry, something weird is going on with my... Okay, wait a sec. We'll keep going. StreamYard got funky on me again. Greetings and toytations, everyone. The Joe team continues their world building with the Cobra Ramp Rats, also called Ketchup and Mustard, a 2-pack of airline runway personnel, and a large Cobra container with strap fasteners, weapons, and signal lights to direct the Rattlers. Pics were found overseas and blew up everywhere yesterday. Some figs, such as the new Dire Night Creeper. Ugh. Oh, Spaded one. My favorites are Captain Flathead with a star on his chest and the purple soldier or purple spider panther. I should know that. I should know that. I have heard this. I know I've heard this, but I have failed miserably. Anyway, getting back, let's see here. Some figs, such as the new Dire Night Creeper and the guy with the raptor, are said to be hitting our shores very soon. Professor Hulk went up for pre-order, $47. I just received the first part of my Super Musk today. The second part is due tomorrow. Woo! Between 10:40 a.m. and 2:40 p.m. The first one is large, but a little slim, so I'm guessing it's the street portion. Can't wait to crack it open after work. Savage Crucible has a new con figure coming out. He's a bad guy. He'll be able on their site. He'll be up on their site in April for those unable to attend the con. Very nice. The street date for retailers for Mythic Legion's Rising Suns is March 18th, 2026. Nice. All right. Now let's hop back to Spaded one real quick here. All right. My Storm Skullomania got delayed to today, but I just so happened to have picked up Fei Long earlier, so I'm about to do a double unboxing of a new line while I watch this and judge everybody's comments. I'm all for getting judged. I got nothing. Enjoy the figures, man. Let us know what's going on with them as this here live stream continues. Star, hey guys, when am I done? I'd say now. I just spent so much on StarCraft. If you listened carefully, you could hear bankruptcy attorneys high-fiving all across the state of Florida. Oh, Star. Well, hey, if you dig the StarCraft, but you kind of need a star scream at least with it, don't you? LBZ, what's up, sir? Yo, what's up, everyone? I'll probably be done when I'll be 55 and sell most of it to pay for retirement vacations for my wife and I, and then leave the other half to my kids and grandchildren. Nice, LBZ. Now, I did see that comment on the X. I just never got back to you. I got to get better at all that. But yeah, man, that's at least like a plan. Like, okay, this is what the plan is. This is what we're going to see if we can stick to. I don't know. I don't see much of that. Like complete with age. Woo. All right. Ironic. What's going on, sir? How you doing this fine evening? Star, I don't really buy figs for the sake of buying figs. I buy figs for the franchises that mean something to me, not just for being figs. I guess I'll stop figs when I stop finding enjoyment in stories. That makes a lot of sense too, Star. Let's see. Hello. Spaded, a few layers of matte spray could really do wonders for the Musk. You know, I have to be honest. I hit it pretty hard with some light, and I took some pictures. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty good. You could put a little bit of matte spray on it, but overall, I mean, I was hitting it hard with the light. The one spot that I found that was a little too glossy for just photos was the sidewalk, believe it or not. And there you could probably end up sanding it so the glossiness isn't there so much. and the sidewalk would be a little rougher, which would be truer to how sidewalks really are. Outback, what's up, sir? Good day, everyone. No work today, so I'm locked in and ready for the stream. Hope we're all doing well. Outback, I am doing well. Hope you are as well, sir. Star, hey, sci-fi spade, ironic Outback. What's up, guys? Thanks, Star, for keeping the people involved. Spade, that first comment was making fun of the AI action figure. Yeah, that one, I was like, do I have a box here where I can put a bunch of stuff? I didn't have a box, is what I got. Star, wish Joy Toy would hurry up and get us some prototype photos of StarCraft. You know what sucks, Star, is Spaded one, I'm sorry. I could have swore I've heard something. It's got to be that I just heard something similar to that way back when. It's got to be like somebody making fun of their kid brother or something. Or like a dad. I don't know. I swear there's been a line like that out there somewhere. Let's see. Yeah. Joy Toil. They'll get there eventually, Star. You got the whole thing with you right now, it sucks, is you're waiting for all these companies to just show you something, you know? And I'm going to need those companies to start showing you something. Star, I was thinking about the idea of shining light through a clear tray of agitated water to get that sewer water reflection down below. Not sure if it would work. I guess it needs to be pretty dark. I wonder, there's not a lot of room in the sewer water. Like if we're talking about the musk, right? Not a lot of room to put lights below it. It hits pretty well. I mean, it shines pretty well just because of the material it's made out of. It's almost like a translucent rubbery material. It's very strange, but does what it's supposed to do. So that might be, I don't know. Now, a clear tray of water, you could dye the water maybe, like a clear tray, and then dye the water. I mean, use your imagination if we're talking about sewer water. Let's see, to get that sewer water reflection. That probably, you know what, if you're just going for the reflection, kind of the light bouncing off, you don't even need to dye it. I'd give it a shot, Star. That might be something that really works well. Sketches, what's going on, man? Yo to you as well, sir. Good to see the people coming in, hanging out. So why don't we get on it, guys? Let's, first off, before I do, I keep saying, let's do this, and then there's something else. I did want to show you this because I'm wondering about the age thing a little bit. If that's what's going on with people. Dang. Okay, hang on. Don't I have... All right. Give me just a sec. I'm going to minimize this. Didn't I have... here we go. I had something that was open earlier. And then I didn't keep it open because I had it open... I had something else opened in its place. So let's do this now. These are my YouTube analytics for BotPix as far as the audience's age. Now, I'm noticing some interesting things. Like I said before, it feels like somehow it's kind of a trending, not trending, but I'm hearing it a lot more that people are trying to figure out what their plan is to either get rid of their stuff or to get out of the hobby and everything. And so I think it was interesting that LPZZ, I'm all over the place. It was interesting that LBZ said at 55, he's going to get rid of things and all that, because that is the only area here from 55 to 64 years old that has 0% watchers on YouTube. And I don't have the largest concentration or the largest number of viewers, but I have over 1,800. I think it's 1,867 is what I'm at right now. So it is odd that there's an age group with nobody in it, especially when the 65 plus year olds make up 0.9%. That means there's like 180 some people that are 65 or above watching these videos. So I just thought this was interesting to take it from an age point of view, which is why I kind of wondered, okay, maybe what it is when you get to a certain age, you decide, nope, I'm out. But then later on, you decide I'm back in. Although I can't imagine that it's 11 years between 54 and 65 that you suddenly decide to get back in. So it was just something I thought I'd throw into the conversation, see what everybody's thinking about it. Star, the reflections would need to be projected onto the figs, maybe coat the tray in crumpled tinfoil and bounce the light off it. Man, that sounds pretty cool too. Star, I wish I were that creative guy when it comes to building this stuff for dios and for the figures to just party in. I'm just not. If John gets here, John Spencer, he's ended up playing with a lot of this stuff. He might have some ideas that could work out too. But those sound like good stuff. I know that the first one you said, shining the light through some agitated water in like a clear container, that one sounded pretty good to me, but I don't know. I just don't know enough about this stuff. Uncarded, stop your grinning and drop your linen. Stop your grinning and drop your linen. Wait, maybe? What? I got nothing. Uncarded. Uncarded is here. Ironic, I'm making an effort to step back from buying, going through the figs I no longer want and getting them together to sell. Ironic, that makes all the sense. I've done the same thing multiple times. Now, to say I'm trying to get out of buying, I'm not there, that's for sure. But I've gone through a lot of figures, and recently what I've done is I've gone through figures that I look at and just think, would I even enjoy taking photos of these? And unless there's some kind of real sentimental reason to hold on to the figure, the answer, if it's no, is all right, time to clear this thing out. But I know that's not going to be everybody's experience because not everybody is the big time photo nerd that I am. But that's crazy that you're getting out of buying. So what's the stuff that you have that you've gone through so far to sell? Star, hey, wait a minute. I'm there. They're not counting me? I'm a bit taken back by the stat. Not sure how to feel right now. Star, I wouldn't worry about it at all, man. Maybe you're the only one, and so they can't even give it a 0.1%. Uncarded, have you never watched Alien 2, aka Aliens, before? Hicks and Hudson quotes are legendary. I have seen Alien. I have not seen Aliens. And I know that's one of those that I'm supposed to be checking out. Sketches. I was late. What ideas were you talking about? Let's see. Star was talking about he's trying to figure out how to make reflection look like it's basically sewer water reflection onto his figures. And so what he was trying to figure out is how to make that work. His first idea had to do with shining light through an agitated, like some water that's kind of agitated, a clear container, to shine that in and see if that would reflect off the figures. And the next one was using some tinfoil to see what happened. So yeah, that's what he's trying to figure out, is how to make water kind of bounce around on figures like the reflection from the water. Star, I heard about this company that makes really great cyberpunk edge runners figs. No one's heard from them in a while. You know how rumors get started. You know what? I got the email from them today talking about how, hey, we're at that die-cast cars thing. So they're there. Maybe June will say things. I don't know. Hola, Mr. Spencer. What's going on, sir? I'm just in and out. That's okay. No problem. Look back on Star was trying to get an effect going where water, like sewer water, would sort of just reflect, like trying to reflect sewer water onto his figures. If you have any ideas, let us know. Spaded, game over, man. I know that one. Foil should help with that. All right. That was one of the ones that he came up with. Sweet. John Star, I got the rules to StarCraft and will be perusing them on Saturday. Nice. Ironic. Legends, McFarlane, Mythics, G.I. Joes. I accumulated a lot of stuff. Man, that is a lot of stuff. I'm trying to think. I don't have McFarlane's. I have very few Legend. I'm just trying to see. Man, I don't even have many Joes anymore. Ooh, Mythics though. Mythics are always on my brain lately. Always lately. Because why should I worry about English? Star, John, awesome. I just unloaded on the pre-order. So broke right now, and I can't wait for this game. When's the game supposed to release, guys? Spaded Star. John, on to lurking. Thursdays are busy for me. No worries, John. Hopefully you're able to enjoy some time. Spaded Figure 1 has been open. Skullomania is everything I could have hoped for. Okay, Storm. I see you. All right. And those are just regular Storm collectibles, right? So they're larger than the Storm Arena figures. Let's see. Anyway, that was a stat I was curious about that I done popped open. But yeah, as I'm trying to think for me what exactly I would do, I really don't see. It's kind of like I've always told the family, if there's ever an animal in the house, and I like animals are awesome, but I really suck at doing things like keeping cat boxes clean because that's nasty. So my thing is, if there was ever an animal in the house that I had, it would be because somebody else made the decision to get the animal. I kind of feel that way about action figures. I don't think I'd be getting rid of them. But if somebody else, I probably wouldn't there either. Again, the only way I'd probably just end up getting rid of everything would probably be some kind of family emergency. I don't know. Star, I think it ships at the end of April / year or early part of May. Okay, all right. So you don't have long to wait. You've got what, a month and a half? Let's see. Yeah, you got about a month and a half to go if it's end of April, early May. Ironic got some camera stuff I'm parting with too. Ooh, what do you have, Ironic? Spaded, yeah, these are the regular scale Storm, but they're both small characters. Skullomania is like really small. 5.3 kind of, or 5.3 kind of small. Even at this scale, he's just slightly bigger than Arena Ryu. Ooh, wow. What's going on, Paul? Good to see you tonight, sir. It is indeed, Paul. All right. Now, let me shut this down. Get on out of here, crazy YouTube stat. Well, I thought I was going to. There we go. But now it's me. Let's fix that. Ha 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 ha. This is what Spaded One was making fun of here. Was the AI action figures, because I just didn't have, I threw away my dioraman boxes. So I have no cardboard boxes in here, and everything that I have that could be, well, that is a box is basically a storage container, like what you're talking about, Star, for the reflecting water. So yeah, I couldn't come up with anything in a hurry, so that's what I did. So now, we've got Ironic has answered a bit. We've got LBZ has answered. Is anybody else even considering it right now? Are you guys even thinking about the possibility of getting rid of some of your stuff? Or would it have to be, thank you, Paul, would it be something where you would think to yourselves, I don't know, like, do you feel like it's an age thing? Or do you feel like, I don't know. I never think something is a purely age thing. There's kind of it's more an interest thing, I think. Star, I'm dropping everything. Have to. StarCraft is coming in both game and figure forms, and hopefully Jada will decide to give us more Edge Runners figs. After that, I'm done. Broke. All right, so Jada Edge Runners and all the StarCraft things. Is that pretty much what you're at then, Star? Because, I mean, I almost thought about making tonight's video a little about focus, but it feels like I do that quite a bit, even though it kind of works for a photography channel because, double meaning. Uncarded, bienvenidos, Paul. Okay, so what else do we have? It seems we have exhausted the topic of when are you done? So you know my answer. I don't know that I'll ever be, but if I am, I am. It happens. Now, what else have you guys noticed in the action figure world that needs to be checked out? What have you seen? What's going on? What's happening? And what I can do, because I'll be honest, I have not seen much lately. What I will do, though, is go to the pre-orders on BBTS. We've got this car again, the Bandito. It looks a little better in this picture as far as the hood being a little more flush to the vehicle. But the rest of these pictures, I think, are probably the same pics that were there before, where it's not flush. I wish, like, if that picture were just gone, I think it would look a lot better. Everything else looks pretty good. I mean, it's a good looking car. Like we said last time all this happened, if this thing comes out and it kills it, game on. So I'm going to jump out of there. Dragon Ball, let's see. See, most things that they seem to be getting right now are statues or books or effects. Like, check this out. I have no idea what these are. Blockies. Okay. I do know what blockies are. I didn't know they were doing Beast Wars too. So you got Crazy Primal. You got Crazy Primal and maybe, what is that? Rodimus Unicronus. Yeah, I haven't been a Blockies guy, so I guess we shall see. Star, I believe age does have something to do with it. I don't feel the same about figs and collecting now as I did several years ago. Age is the only thing that's changed for me. Can't explain it otherwise. But do you think it's age or do you think it's interest level, Star? I mean, honestly, it could be maybe just interests change with the times. Because I know that these days I'm less interested in stuff that I was way back when, but I don't know that it's so much because I got older, Outback, I've never really thought about it, to be honest. I guess as long as I'm still interested in the figures or franchises, and as long as I can still afford them in my budget, I'll just keep collecting. See, that's pretty much where I'm at, Outback. Mr. Madsen, wasn't that Bandito supposed to be out already? Original date was 3 years ago, but I thought the latest update said Feb. I don't know, actually, Mr. Madsen. Let's head back there real quick. This says, all right, they're saying first quarter now. So they've got a couple weeks. Let's see, Mr. M. Let's bounce out of there. We've got some DNA design stuff if anybody's into the Transformers 1 figures. And actually, I mean, that looks pretty good, but I haven't been picking up those. There are some other lines that I want to get. Right now I'm focused on G1 and Bayverse and maybe a few Cyber Worlds just because they're fun to mess with. But yeah, I do want to expand it. It'll depend a little bit on how well Botpix does as I go. And then what have we here? Yeah, these are tiny. I wondered, more Blockies, man. Blockies is getting into everything, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a question. Is anybody out there, how many of you are really loading up on Blockies right now? Sketches, I wouldn't stop collecting. I'll probably downsize properties. Okay. No, let's see. So you downsize the properties, but you'd keep the collection? I get that. You'd be like, nope, we're going to keep growing the collection even if I downsize. I assume you mean you downsize properties first, right? But yeah, who's getting these? Because they're everywhere. Like, I can't go through just this Big Bad Toy Store stuff without coming across some Blockies. I bet if I click this, let's see. Yep, more Blockies Transformers. Okay, this one looks like a special edition. Oh, he's got a Shockwave. And $40 for a little model. But is he a little model? Let's see. Oh no, he's not such a little model. Never mind. He's not the little guys that I was thinking of. But yeah, I'm just curious. How many of you are really getting into blockies? Because it could be a fun little, I mean, obviously these have this chibi style going on. It could be another fun line to just sit down and mess with. But I'm just not, I don't know. Maybe it's because it would take so much time to assemble them. And I know not tons of time, but it would be enough where I'd be going, oh man, I should be doing something else, you know? That primal looks pretty cool though. I will say that. In fact, we'll go there. Mr. Manson, I have one Blockies. It's great. Don't think I need a ton of them. Was it a sound wave, Mr. Manson? I'm trying to remember. Star, I still love great stories and I still desire to be able to touch characters and creatures from those stories, but I find myself not stressing over them like I used to. I think, you know what? I like that thought because I think I'm the same way. So that Scare Glow picture that showed up a while back, the Motu Chronicles figure that we all looked at on one of the live streams, I think that thing looks incredible. I would probably pick that up if I saw it, but it's a Walmart exclusive. I'm not sweating it. If I can't get Scare Glow, I can't get Scare Glow, and I'm okay with it. And the recent, what was it? The Bayverse Grimlock just popped up for this week for $190. And like I said, I want to get some Bayverse too to mix in with the G1 figures. But I'm like, man, do I want to spend $190 on the Bayverse Grimlock right now? No, not really. And if I end up not getting them at all, I'll survive. I mean, yeah, I'd probably rather get them. But if I don't, I don't. I guess I've kind of reached that point. And then would you guys say that's more aging or just maturing? Or in my case, just not wanting to put up with the fact that I'm already throwing a ton of money at these guys and I don't want to throw a ton more. Sketches, like the two properties I would keep collecting. Let's see, are Transformers and TMNT. Okay, got it, Sketches. See, blocky Transformers are fun. They do look fun. I have to give them that. Anton, what's up, sir? The last of the Time Lords is indeed here. Soundwave Deluxe. Okay. I was thinking it was a Soundwave, but I couldn't remember which one. Thank you, sir. Star, maybe it's due to the daily grind of work and bills and mortgage and marriage, and things take my mind off stories more than when I was younger. Can't sit around dreaming all day anymore. That makes sense too. Sometimes you just don't have time to kick back and figure out, what's the next thing I want to get. You might miss a pre-order just because you're not totally glued to the computer. Oh boy. I will now push more buttons, Anton. I saw your subject. I will never sell my toys when I'm gone, but my friends have them. Oh, so your friends would have them. Got it. If you can't get an action figure, just cry about it in private. That's fair, Anton. Wait, got to do this. Kairos, hello, Toypixx. Hello, everyone. What's going on, Kairos? Good to see you tonight, man. Sketches. I have a few of the bigger scale blockies. They have light up features. You know, I've seen, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking blockies there. I was thinking Yellow Park. I didn't know blockies had light up features. But that's me not paying much attention. Kairos Toypixx, did you ever see on YouTube a custom 112 3D printed bat tank from Dark Knight Returns? No, but that sounds sweet. Like that, you're talking the huge one that was there in the mud fight, right? It's an old video. I can't believe I missed that. I can believe I missed that. I'll have to look. For that, Kairos. That might be a good time. Okay. So people are picking up some blockies. They think they're cool. I like the look. This looks pretty cool to me. I'm not a truck, not monkey guy. I'm a truck and monkey guy. I think it's all pretty cool. Let's see. What have we here? These are supposed to be giant figures, I'm going to assume. or giant character, 6.7 inches. This feels kind of like going through and doing what I used to do, which was let's look at all the crazy pre-orders that are out there this week. But I know nothing about this. What is this one? Bio Booster Armor Guyver. Okay, I know Guyver's supposed to be huge. What do we have here? 8.66. Isn't Guyver kind of isn't he one of those robots that's big enough to fight a kaiju like Ultraman, like the old Ultraman? Help me out, guys. I know nothing. Because again, bad nerd. By the way, I don't know what you're all drinking tonight, but I'm drinking Per Aqua or purified water. So I'm going to pop that open right now. It is even lamer than bubbly. It's not even carbonated with almost no flavor. This is just straight up water. But sometimes I do dig some straight up water. D Amazing told me I should. But he told all of you that you should as well. Anton, please, everyone, listen to my podcast. I'm going to try to do it this Saturday, and it's called Anton Knows. So pay attention, folks. It'll be, what are you doing it on, Anton? Mr. Madison, yep, my sound wave has light up eyes and speaks several phrases. Really? Dang it. So that's a deluxe one you said, right? Okay. Let's see, Anton Soundwave got a name change when the Japanese took it over and just got, let's see, the Transformers headmasters, they called him, he was Sound Blaster, right? But was that was just a total, it wasn't necessarily, well, no, it was the same character, at least if you go by the headmasters cartoon. So what happened, guys, if you're not the big Transformers nerd that I am, and that perhaps Anton is as well, is in the Japanese headmasters cartoon, Blaster and Soundwave ended up fighting each other to the death, and they both bit it in this one fight. But then they were reborn as Twincast and Sound Blaster. So yeah, man, that's what went down. And I think the only differences between, besides color on both the toys, so like Sound Blaster is Soundwave, Blaster is Twincast, or I'm sorry, Twincast is Blaster. Either way, you know what I'm saying. So I think the only real difference, other than changing colors, is they made it so Sound Blaster's door could hold multiple tapes. I think 2 tapes instead of Soundwave's 1. So yeah, good times. The Japanese series. By the way, the best Japanese series I used to think was Victory, and I still really like Victory, but I'm thinking it might be Super God Master Force. Star, I wonder what a G.I. Joe Hiss Tank would look like if a Cybertronian took that form for an Overgear crossover. Several other G.I. Joe vehicles to choose from. You know, I wonder if Hasbro would share some of their designs with Takara. I mean, they obviously share designs, and say, hey, turn this into a robot. And I wonder what they would do, because I don't think the Megatron that turned into a Hiss Tank did very well. So, but I mean, Takara, they kind of kill it with all that stuff. That could be really cool. And as would all those G.I. Joe vehicles I'm sure you're thinking of too, Star. Anton, those dinosaurs look very cool. You can use them on your diorama as they rampage through the city. Yeah, and the nice thing about dinosaurs, even if they're a little small, they can just be going through the stages of life. Maybe you've got a punk kid dinosaur or a teenager dinosaur, and then you get that massive T-Rex that Mattel made way back when that I still regret getting for my niece and not getting myself one as well. Kairos, Toypixx, the new Mezco Batman animated. There's a video showing it today. I didn't even see that. The new Mezco Batman animated, huh? Might need to do that. Is it from the first animated series or the new Batman Adventures? Ironic. Yeah, I started collecting around COVID. Then I had a scare with my heart, and now I have 2 stents. Need to downsize and purge stuff. Yep, I totally understand that, Ironic. That's what we were talking about with if there's a health thing, if there's some kind of family emergency. Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. Anton, the Oscars are Sunday. I'll be watching. I don't know if anybody else will be. I've never missed them. I hope that Zootopia 2 wins. You know, I have not watched the Oscars in years. The last time I really paid attention was when, I think it was when Billy Crystal used to host and Jack Nicholson was always in the front ready for a laugh. Like that was honestly probably about the last time I really paid attention to the Oscars. So it's been a while. Mr. Madsen, also there's Sound Blaster, the black version of Soundwave, like the one that came with classified chuckles. Nice. Oh man. You guys can't be turning me into a Blockies guy. That would be bad. Anton, I watched recently the original Battlestar Galactica TV movie for the 70s. Nice. Does it still hold up? Kyrus and Optimus Prime died like 2 more times on that series, Toypixx. It's drawn really well, too. I know. So they also, guys, so in the Headmasters cartoon, so what happened is the Japanese continuity totally skipped the rebirth, like when they introduced the Headmasters and Target Masters for the US, and they just did it their own way. But Prime was obviously still alive near the beginning. They just killed him again. It was good times. And then they realized we have to bring him back years later, and that is how we got Star Convoy. Whoop, oh, wait, hold on. I think I missed one. There we go, Kyrus. I have to buy that Transformers series, Toypixx. It's called Headmasters Transformers, right? Yeah, the one where Prime died again was Headmasters. And then the other one with Jinrai, who's the vehicle that looks like Prime, that one's Super God Master Force, or maybe just Master Force. I'm not sure. Kyrus, yes, it's the Batman animated series, first season, I think. Okay, thank you, Kyrus. I have to get on it. Anton, that's terrible, ironic. I hope you feel better. Yeah, Star got a Jada Next Level email about their upcoming con. It stated to be a diecast con. That was the one that I picked, or that I saw too. Does that mean no figs being shown? What's the deal, Master June? This is starting to feel personal. I think what's going to happen, what's the con that happens at the end of this year? The one that happens at the end of this month. Isn't it WonderCon? I'm hoping, I think that's when things are going to happen. In fact, hold on. We'll have you guys, let's see. I'm going to look up WonderCon 2026. WonderCon homepage. Badges? Badges are on sale now, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see here. Oh, wow. I don't even know where to, let's see, industry, press information, terms, conditions, program, professional information, registration, retailer information. Here we go. Let's see here. Oh, no. Oh, exhibitors. Oh, no. It's just doing applications. Dang it. Hang on, I'm looking at all this, and you guys should see this too. Give me a sec. We're now playing in the WonderCon website. Let's see, things to do. Plan your visit. I'm assuming that wouldn't be it. Hold on, WonderCon, okay. How to attend the WonderCon experience. And I do want to do hang on, let me see what is Jada Toys attending WonderCon. Let's see, WonderCon 2026. How about I do that? Because it said Jada Toys did attend WonderCon in 2025. Okay. There we go. Okay, so hold on. Let me turn this down and instead share this page. This is, of course, the Google AI stuff. So yes, Jada Toys is listed as an exhibitor for WonderCon 2026. They are scheduled to appear in the exhibitor hall at booth 901. And the dates for WonderCon are March 27th through the 29th. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's hopefully at WonderCon we will hear from our boy June. All right. Yes, it still holds up. Nice. It's a lot of fun. I love that opening narration, and that's what I'm going to do on my podcast this week. Okay, so you're going to talk about the Battlestar Galactica 1970 movie. Got it, sir. Yes, Headmasters. It's running on Facebook right now. There's a Transformers group that is showing it. Nice. So I found for all the Transformers, all the Japanese ones, you can go to YouTube and get it's not the dubs, you can get the subs. So you can see the subtitles and leave the Japanese language on there, which is what I prefer to do, even though I'm kind of reading my entertainment at that point. But I've seen Headmasters recently. I saw Master Force, and I need to get back to Victory. I'd seen a couple episodes of Victory, but need to get back to it. I've seen it before, but I kind of feel like watching it again. Star, how do you guys feel about Bayformer's insect look for the bots in the live action? I love those designs and still do, but it seems most TF fans hated them. Really? Why? Am I missing something? Star, at the beginning, I was one that hated those. I mean, it's just recently that I've come around to being like, okay, I want to pick up some of these figures because there's such a departure from guys like Hound here. Hound having the big blocky design, which is a look I prefer. I have always preferred a simple design over a more complex design. So that was part of it for me. But genuinely, when I first saw those movies, I couldn't tell them apart. And that was tough for me. And they had changed a lot of what made the characters special and everything else. So I think the design... Yeah, the design, I would say Transformers 2007, at the time, I would have said, was a decent movie. It wasn't terrible. It's just tough to get past the designs. Today, I actually kind of like the Prime design and the Bumblebee design and maybe even the Megatron design. Not a big fan of the Starscream design, but as I watch it more, I'm like, okay, Bone Crusher's kind of cool. All right, Barricade's not bad. It's kind of that thing that where it used to be a big deal to me. Like I hated Bayformers, but I got to the point where I'm going, okay, I can see why people would enjoy this. And it made it a lot easier for me truly when I just decided, you know what? This is not my Transformers. Totally separate myself from thinking of this as my Transformers. This is not the Prime I grew up with. This isn't the Megatron I grew up with. And honestly, deciding that has helped me immensely. And that helps me, I think, appreciate those designs even more. Ironic. Anton, thanks. Feeling pretty good. Just taking it easy day by day. Life is precious. Ironic. That is, yeah, man. Yeah. I am glad you're doing okay. Anton, I think that's a WonderCon. I think it might be in Florida. According to what I just found, Anton, it's in, let's see, Anaheim. But maybe there's another one in Florida. I'm reminded of what Bobby McFarlane said. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Yep, Star. Dave, last Monday you made a short little mumble about Jada Starcraft. Do you know something you can't tell us? I can't stop thinking about it. Why did Dave start to mention that? Why? Believe me, I am no source. I don't have people reporting to me constantly and saying, this is what's going on. I don't even remember that, Star. But if I had information, well, I mean, if somebody asked me not to share the information, I wouldn't share the information. But if I had information and nobody said anything to me, I would absolutely give it to you. And I'll tell you straight up, I do not have information. And if I did, I'm that jerk. I would look at you and say, hey, Star, I know things, but I can't tell you. Yep, apparently I'm that guy. But anyway, no, I have no information regarding StarCraft. So I'm going to be curious because of how excited you and John are about it. I'm going to be curious to see how it unfolds. We'll probably be talking about it quite a bit on this stream. Ironic, have a good night, everyone. Late dinner date. No worries, Ironic. Enjoy dinner, sir. Ooh, food sounds good. I should eat more. Anton, I don't like the Bay Transformers. They don't even look like the Transformers I remember. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. No, Anton, I totally get it, man. And you have to look at them and you just have to think, okay, this is a totally different continuity. Like, think of the Transformers that I'm assuming you grew up with too, like this Hound I just showed, the G1 Transformers, right? They had overall pretty blocky designs, and that's just something that we all grew up with. We all got used to, or many of us did. But when you think of Transformers Prime, a lot of those designs are a lot different than what we grew up with. It's sort of halfway between, not quite halfway, it is closer to G1 than the Bayverse, but maybe what it is it's just too much of a departure for some people to be into those Bayverse designs. And I could see that. But honestly, I just kind of gotten to that point where on my shelves, if I've got the Optimus Prime from G1, and then I have Optimus Primes from War for Cybertron, from Armada, from I don't know, all the different primes on there, and I've got and I don't have one of these yet, but I've got say a Bayverse Prime. The Bayverse Prime would probably steal the most eyeballs just because it looks so much different. And I think, like I said, I've gotten to the point where I kind of enjoy that design. I don't like the Knight design much, but I do like the Prime design from the first 3 movies. Star, originally Paramount was going to do a generic alien invasion film and tacked on the Transformers angle at the last moment for marquee value. Explains the look. I rather enjoyed the more alien look. I did not know that, Star. That's interesting. See, Star, take care. Ironic. Your third Toypixx. That tank is huge. 112 scale. Very impressive. Man, I don't know what it does, but when I leave it on Google or like on my Gmail or I leave it on YouTube, it's like it throttles views somehow. So I'm not going to look for it tonight, Kairos, while we're on the live stream, but I might look for it later. I do want to check it out because that thing just sounds nuts. And the design of the thing is nuts. So yeah, I definitely want to see it. But there's our WonderCon information, ladies and gentlemen. It does look like June, or at least Jada, will be there from March 27th through the 29th at, let's see, in the exhibitor hall at booth 901. So hopefully we will get some Jada news. Now let's shut that down. Jump back in. Whoop. I pushed the wrong button. That happens all the time. I've been doing this long enough where you'd think I wouldn't do that so much. Jump back in. Let's keep going through. Yeah, there just is not a whole lot that people have announced in the 112 scale. There's not even a whole lot that we can look at as far as accessories. I don't know if everybody's waiting for things like WonderCon, if things are just totally getting flooded. We do have Smart Hulk here. Is anybody in the audience going after Smart Hulk? Because I'll say here, I think what we've got is probably just another waist twist. At least I hope there's at least a waist twist there. But I think it will probably be hidden by the belt. Actually, let me go through some of these pictures. So I won't hold it against too many people if you pick this up. Yeah, look at that. So we definitely got a waist cut. And here, I can't tell. I was going to say it's turned ever so slightly, but it's hard to really tell there. Yeah, here it's turned ever so slightly. You'd want to move the belt up so you don't have this cut here from the figure. But I don't think this is a bad figure. I couldn't give it the whole, like usually if I see something that I think is crazy photogenic, I'll post it on X and Threads and all the social media I have and just say, hey guys, this is one to look out for. This is one I think might be cool. I'll even record a short. This one's close, but no stogie, at least for me, just because of this waist cut. But things to appreciate are definitely the bunny slippers. The fact he's got these glasses, the fact he has 2 heads, an extra set of hands, this big old Blasta / gun here. I mean, honestly, Marvel Legends is getting closer. And I know I'm a broken record about it, but if they just take care of that waste, I could see picking some of these up. I don't know that I'd get this, though, just because I have the Mezco Hulk on the way. But it's a good look for our boy, for ye old Jade Giant. Kyrus, I like the bunny slippers. I do too, Kyrus. Star, well, I'm thinking that Jada could make some spectacular StarCraft figs in 112. Not sure why that's in my head. Any thoughts as to why, Dave? Star, truly, man. I might, if you asked me, I would really be the guy to sit there and say, you know, Star, I know, I would throw this in just for you. If I had inside information, I would say, Star, I know things and I think you're going to like it. But I would have to stop there. Sadly, I don't actually know things, and I would tell you if I knew things. I swear. But yeah, I have no idea. Although, Jada, what kind of figures are StarCraft? Like, do they look like astronauts? Like, tell me a little more about StarCraft, because then maybe we could all figure out, which company do we think would be best to make 112 scale StarCraft figures? Anton, it's like what they've done with the Cybermen on Doctor Who. Originally, they looked very weird and otherworldly, and then they gave them flight suits that the British Air Force used. I like that design. I wonder, I didn't see, I mean, obviously, I don't know my Doctor Who all that much. Might be something I need to look into. We'll see. Star, Anton, do you prefer the original looks for the Doctor Who antagonists, or are you a fan of the modern revamps? Anton, he looks like a cool action figure. I like the bunny slippers. A kid would have a lot of fun with them. That is true. That is true. Like, as a collector and somebody that likes taking pictures of these, I can look at this and be all snobby about it. But a kid, if a kid ended up getting this for their birthday or for Christmas, or just because they had a killer report card, they would grow up being the biggest Hulk fans in the world. And that would be awesome. Although the kid might be like, I don't know about these bunny slippers. Or the kid might say, wonder if we can find some of these bunny slippers in my size, which would be entertaining as well. But yeah, my snobbery sometimes gets the best of me. When you think about kids in the Hulk here, they would love it. They would have a blast with this thing. Now, let's see, continue going through. That's why with the Toypixx channel that I've been, like I showed the thumbnail that I'm going to use for this weekend's Toypixx video, it's why I'm trying to just focus on Transformers and just fun. Because I know that with Toypixx, I'm a snob when it comes to figures. So when it comes to Transformers, I'm way less of a snob. I just want people to be able to go to the store and enjoy themselves, you know? Star, I'd say to imagine a more sci-fi tech look for 40K, if you're familiar with 40K. I'm familiar with the look of those basic, like the big guys that McFarlane does and that Joy Toy does. I'm familiar with that look, but I don't know if they have other looks in Warhammer, because if they do, I probably wouldn't be familiar with that. If not sure where to begin with an explanation, and keep it short enough to hold interest. No worries, Star. I've got some Warhammer. I'm picturing those big, what are they, Space Marines? I'm picturing those guys right now. So add some tech bits and sci-fi to those, kind of. Anton, I'm a fan of the Cybermen that were done in the 1980s. They used the flight suits from the British Air Force. And the Doctor Who was what? They started in the 60s, right? I'm not sure I remember. I'll tell you, when it comes to characters from basically all media, I am a much bigger fan of, of simpler over more complex. So, like, I'm trying to think of any recent examples. So when you're looking at the superheroes from, say, the Silver Age and the Bronze Age, how those uniforms were fairly simple. Like the Wolverine tan and brown costume, right? The one that we think of, that John Byrne drew and everything. When they've gone and they made his costume a lot more just complex, then I just don't like it as much. Like when they add buckles and all this other stuff, I'm going, that's just too much detail. I like the real simple look. So across all media, I do prefer that look. So I will always prefer, say, the Transformers G1 look to the Bayverse look. Although I am, like I said earlier, appreciating the Bayverse look a little more. Outback, I can't remember exactly what they called them, but a couple years ago, Hasbro did a custom series where you could scan your face and get a head sculpt made on a Marvel or G.I. Joe figure. Man, we were paying attention. Like, I had Toypixx going at the time, and I can't remember. You're right, Outback. I can't remember what it's called, though. Anybody else? Anybody got that? Star, Anton, do the Daleks still look the same now as they did then? Ooh, don't suppose anybody got one of those. A lot of people seem to. Oh my God, what were those called? Help us out. Help us out, people. Mr. Madsen, Doctor Who began in 63, Star Trek in 64. Really? They were the beginning of fandoms as we know them today. All right, that's kind of cool. So here's a sub question, since we're just kind of all over the place right now, and I'll take the lead on all over the place here. Do you guys think that, I know there's been a lot of hate for Star Trek and Doctor Who the last few years. Do you think it's more the direction of the franchise overall, or do you think it's a loss of interest in the franchises? I'm kind of curious about that, because I'm playing with that idea when it comes to something like Star Wars. Like, I'm looking at the later series and I don't enjoy them as much, but I'm not just the common person, right? Like, is it just a general lack of interest in Star Wars and Doctor Who and Star Trek? Or is it that the stories got to a point where people just didn't pay attention anymore? See, it's the idiots running the franchises. I was trying to be diplomatic. It might be. Like, I do wonder an awful lot. I've heard the name Kurtzman, and I've also heard Kurtzman was one of the guys that worked on Transformers Prime, and they made it difficult for everybody to follow the whole, like, there was a story at the time that the Transformers people, they basically come up with a Bible, like the Covenant of Primus type thing, and they want everybody to adhere to it. But Kurtzman's team on Transformers Prime didn't want to adhere to it, so things got different with their stuff. So I do wonder how much of a problem is Kurtzman to multiple franchises? And this is me knowing nothing of Star Trek, guys. Like, I saw the original series and I saw the movies way back. That's about it. Like the 6 movies, the ones with Shatner and Nimoy and all them. Star, Mr. Madsen, that sounds right. I can't think of anything that was popular before that. Maybe Flash Gordon? Not sure how popular Flash was in terms of fandom. Yeah, that makes sense as far as like general audiences getting into that stuff. You wonder about things like the Shadow and the Phantom and Flash Gordon. Were those, they're still marketable. Some companies still make figures of them, but are they really that popular? I don't know. Anton, well, Dave, all the way back in 63, the year Kennedy was assassinated, Doctor Who premiered on British television. That's what it sounded like. Oh, Doctor Who. Mr. M nailed it. Anton, we did not get to see Doctor Who in America until the 70s with the great Tom Baker, thanks to John Neff and Turner, even though a lot of people don't like him, but it wasn't for him. No Doctor Who. Mr. Madsen, I love Star Wars up until Jar Jar Abrams took over the Star Trek and Star Wars. Klutzman is an Abrams acolyte who Abrams fired. Holy crap, really? Oh, no. I love the first 50 years of Doctor Who, still do. Okay, so maybe it is. Transformers have kind of survived. They're in a bit of a lull right now, but who knows what happens if Michael Bay comes back. But it constantly reinvents itself, which I'm not sure I like. But at the same point, they have survived quite a ways for being just a toy line. I don't know. I keep thinking about it in my head, but I tend to go more towards what you're saying, Mr. Madsen. Anton, I love Doctors, and since it's almost my birthday, but not until March 30th, so I will celebrate with you guys. I love Doctor Who. March 30th, huh? Is that a Monday or a Thursday? What, Monday or a Thursday? Let me know, Anton. We'll have a big party. Let's see. Anton, the Daleks, they still look the same. They're a little more different, but they're definitely more affordable and more formidable and more evil. Ah, Daleks. Things I know nothing of. Not cool, man. Today's my birthday, Mr. Matson. Happy birthday, sir. All right, everybody, fire off a happy birthday. What did you get, man? What did you load up on for the old birthday? Or what did people help you load up on? The entirety of Star Wars for me is the original trilogy plus Rogue One. Real Star Trek for me ends after the original crew retires. Wow. Yep, happy birthday, sir. And no, Doctor Who, the reason why people either love it or hate it these days is because of the writing got really bad in the last couple of years. You know, that'll do it. I mean, if writing improves in a lot of these franchises, maybe they'll pick back up. Happy birthday, fellow March birthday from Anton to the good Mr. Matson. We got to know, Mr. Matson, what did you load up? Even if you didn't get anything, did you eat something awesome? What did you do today to celebrate? Like every year, what would I do? I don't know. I don't have like a yearly tradition for my birthday. Around Christmas, I always watch Scrooged. But yeah, I'm not sure. Like I always try to make sure I eat something I really like on my birthday. That's probably about it. So that's why I'm wondering, even if it's just, did you go to your favorite restaurant or something like that? What did you do? And if you did nothing, what are you doing this weekend, man? So let's jump in here. Get out of ye old Hulk. My snobbery can only go so far. I do, man. I know they're 1/18th scale, but wow. A lot of companies are kind of killing it in 1/18th right now. Now we've got some ladies that they strategically covered up some stuff. What have we here? What is this guy? Oh, no, that's going to be way, way small. I don't know even. Screw it. We'll click one. So I'm assuming, let me see what it says here. Female body. Oh, the huge bust version A, 1/12 scale action figure. I'm wondering how well are they going to show some crazy articulation here? Because this is one that you would definitely buy stuff to put on her. Well, that was crazy articulation. Maybe not. Maybe that's just 90 degrees from her waist, and the ball peg is allowing her to do that. That's kind of crazy. Sometimes I wonder if it's that it's crazy articulation or that I just never thought to put my figures in that pose. Oops, wrong way. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything too crazy here. We'll see what we get as far as accessories are concerned. There we go. All right, this one, another one with a bunch of hands and a bunch of feet. Oh, boy. Outback, it could just be an internet rumor, of course, but since we're talking fandoms, I saw something recently about 2 scripts being written for a new G.I. Joe movie. Oh, and happy birthday, Mr. M. A new G.I. Joe movie. That would be cool, Outback. I mean, if that's true, ooh, I would be a fan. What would you guys want to see in a G.I. Joe movie? Spaded, for the love of God, somebody make a female blank buck that isn't built like an Amazon life doll. I don't even, is that one, remember, I went way back. I was trying to find just nutty stuff to show off. And one of the things I found was 1:1 scale action figures, which was crazy creepy. Is that what an Amazon life doll is? Mr. Matson, it's actually been a pretty terrible week. Oh, no. I'm going to try to hang out with some friends soon. We lost a friend yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Hugging my family. My birthday present will be the new HC IDW, the hardcover IDW GI Joe set. Well, that'll be cool, but I'm sorry to hear that about your friend. That's rough. Star, not sure why 118th seems to be locked down on a bit now. Back in the 70s and 80s, 118th was it. Star Wars and G.I. Joe were originally 118th, and no one was complaining. 112th is awesome, but 118th can be too. Oh, for sure, Star. Like, I went to 112 for truly photographing reasons, photography reasons even, because with slightly larger figures, you're going to get more detail, all that stuff. And they had more articulation, the 118th. But what 118th is doing now is really impressive. Anton, it's on a Monday, and I will have a party on that Sunday. Nice, sir. Spaded action figure. Sure, that's what it is. Happy birthday, Mr. Madsen. Yeah, Spaded one. That's basically what showed up when I was doing the one-to-one searches. It was messed up. Holy crap, they have all kinds of them. Okay, let's keep going. She got way more time than she should have. But yeah, I don't see, there's just not a lot. But hey, if you guys are seeing stuff you think's kind of cool, game on. And if you see something, have me stop. Now that I'm going through all this stuff, we do have more 3-0 Mega Man. I have the Jada Hyper Bomb, and I really like it. Isn't this is kind of, wouldn't this be Mega Man, like the original Mega Man game? Isn't that the look here? Because I feel like Jada is making the Mega Man figures look closer to what they did way back when. Anton, happy birthday. We got that. Let's see. Harry, double check the size of these bodies. They run small. Which ones? Are you talking the girls, or are you talking Mega Man here? See, Anton, I'm going to have a party that Sunday before my actual birthday. We played Jeopardy. Nice. I give away movies as some of the prizes. I give them a spread of food, and I make sure I have a cake with custard. Oh, a cake with custard. See, that sounds pretty good, Anton. I'd be a fan of that. That sounds, ooh, I might have to think about that. You know what? Oh, my cake wouldn't be a cake at all, ladies and gentlemen. It would be a pecan pie. Done, pecan pie. This is the way. But the best donuts have custard in the middle of them. I once had a donut. This is going to sound legendary. It's not. But it's a Long John with maple frosting and custard that ran through it. It was perfect. And it was a good sized donut. It was perfection, man. Oh, sorry. I hear the word custard, and that's where my brain goes right away. Spaded, the Jada Mega Man figures are way closer to what I see in my head when I hear Mega Man than any of the other more expensive brands. Yeah, that's what I was wondering there. Because this, I know that they've done Mega Man X that 3-0 has, and that was a totally different look. I get that. But I've got the Jada, like I said, I've got the Hyper Bomb Mega Man up there, and I think his proportions are more accurate to what we see in the games. Star, oh, wait, was that Jada Edge? Oh, never mind. For a second there, I thought that Jada was releasing the figs that they promised us. Yeah, stupid me. Okay, the 27th through the 29th, we're going to have, on the same day that we chat Anton's birthday, we'll also be able to chat whatever we saw from June. Love the Jada Mega Man. Yeah, I do too. I need to get more. Like, I've got the first two waves, but I need to get the other waves. I think they're, for somebody that doesn't, I don't know that I ever played Mega Man, and yet the figures crack me up. I think that's why I like Jada so much. It's not necessarily that they're going to complete Street Fighter. That's awesome. No one's done that. That's super cool. it's not necessarily, I mean, who knows if they're going to complete Scooby-Doo and his team or his crew and Mega Man figures and everything else. Who knows if they're going to complete any of it? All I know is when I look at this stuff, they just make fun, bright colored stuff. And when I'm looking down at my shelves behind me and I've got a bunch of military figures that are all in drab colors and all that, Jada just goes nuts with the fun. And that's why I enjoy him so much. Spaded, you see Hatter's most recent video about the Yellow Park Metal Slug model. I didn't see the whole thing, but I was listening to it a little bit. That thing, he did say for $80 you get all that versus $100 for one figure from, I can't remember what the company was from. But guys, that's a heck of a deal. That's impressive. So if you're into Metal Slug and you're into Yellow Park, the way Hatter talked, you might want to pick that thing up. See, Spaded Kitbox. What? Oh no, is that the girls? I don't know, man. I have nothing. Help me out. What's Kitbox? Let's see. Or is that what it was called? Is that what the Metal Slug thing was called? Maybe that's what it was. And Tom, well, if I was going to write a G.I. Joe movie, I would set it in the 80s, have maybe one star as one of the main characters, and the rest would all be unknowns, and they have to be exactly the way they were in the 80s. So you would have the core guys, Snake Eyes, Scarlet, Duke, Flint, Lady J, and have it be the Cobra is the organization that is very secretive. And let's see, I guess you would have to get a prominent star to play Cobra Commander, maybe somebody like David Tennant. See, Star Jada is not completing anything at this rate. I do know what you're saying there for sure. David Tennant, I don't know. He's not somebody with a lot of star power that you're talking about, right, Anton? Like, as much as I hate it, you would have to use the star as Duke, I would think. Spaded, I really feel like Jada is about to get a kick in the crotch with the Alpha line. They're directly competing with Storm Arena and that one, and in the same price range. Yeah, I'm kind of with Star here. I want to see just what June says. I just want to know. He doesn't seem, I like June because even if he tries to keep a secret, there's a little glint in his eye that shows you what he's really saying. So I like watching his interviews, like more so than just hearing about him. So who knows? We'll see. I had heard somebody said something. It might have been, who was it? Sometimes I'll see like that Milk Mustache or whatever. He said something about hearing, and I don't know. I know nothing. I don't know what his source would be. I know nothing about any of this. But what he threw out there was that Jada had kind of decided to back off of doing that because Storm Arena is doing it, which from a business perspective would make sense. Like, let's not compete directly with this other company that has like all this craziness going on. Let's do an end run and do something else. But on the other hand, June is also crazy competitive. I don't know it, but I think it, right? Like, you can see when he's talking that he just wants to make everything better. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Outback, one of my favorite figures is a Jada Toys Chester Cheetah. Yep, got him. He's a blast. Not something I ever thought I would want until I saw it and just had to have it. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm in the exact same boat. I never thought I'd need a Chester. I've got a Tony the Tiger too. I'm like, who needs a Tony the Tiger? Apparently I did, because when I saw that thing, it just looked like such a blast to mess with. Star, well, the big difference I see between Jada and Storm is that, well, Storm actually releases figs. They have sharper sculpting and slightly better articulation as well. I would say that objectively, Storm Arena has better figures. So it's nothing against Jada when I say that, because like I say, Jada's just out there producing fun stuff. But if you're really a big time snob, you're spending $30 on Storm Arena instead of $30 on Jada, which makes me sad and makes me question things. The only reason I'm still going nuts with Jada's Street Fighter line, I shouldn't say that, I would complete it anyway, is so I can complete it. But it's also kind of, I haven't dove in on Storm Arena. And now if Ken and Ryu are super hard to find, I don't know that I'd want to, because at least Street Fighter wise, I'm still looking at Baki, but because I wouldn't want to just add that incomplete collection. Outback is just a really fun figure, and sometimes that's all they need to be. Yep, absolutely. The smile that he's got on his face, just the fact that he's, even the little things that Jada did, like on the hand that's going to grab the Cheetos, how it's got like the orange powder on his fingers from, holding Cheetos. I find that hysterical. They just absolutely crushed it on even like those little tiny details like that. And the way they did the whiskers, like, we can say what we want about the fact that Jada's not releasing stuff, and I totally agree, and it's driving me a little crazy too. But when they do, the thought that goes into every single figure is insane. Like the hair they did for Blanca, but going back to Chester, what originally made me think of this are the whiskers. Like the way those whiskers were done, those things somehow, they feel like they should break, and they don't. And I don't mean like snap, but they feel like they should almost pull from his face, and they're not doing it. They really put a lot of thought into every figure I think they put out there. Star, I do like Jada's plastic quality to Storm's, just feels better and seems more durable. You know what? I've never considered that because I've never had a Storm figure. So maybe I will need to pick up I do need to pick up the Baki. I've tease-faded one about it long enough. Outback, yes, exactly. The cheetah dust on his fingertips is such a cool little detail. Yeah, there's no doubt that they put a lot of love into every figure they put out there. That's why I think June, or part of why I think June is so competitive. Like, I still remember, and I've talked about this before, one of the first times I saw him interviewed, he would talk about buying figures so he could look at them and figure out how he would improve the articulation on them. This is why I think that this guy, I just think he's competitive. I think he's got some Storm Arena figures, and he's looking at them, trying to figure out what he'd do to school them. That's where I think Master June is in his head. At least I hope so. Now, let's get out of ye old Mega Man. This is, what do we have here? Oh, 821. This is that Grimlock I was talking about, guys. Like, I think he looks good, believe it or not. And like I said, I'm not the biggest Babers guy, but I'm kind of coming around a little bit. And I have the Transformers G1 Dinobots. So, why not get the Babers Dinobots? Except the G1 Dinobots were $50 to $60 a piece. And this guy's $190. So there'd be 3 G1 Dinobots for this. But the look of him and the size of him is insane. He is one that I'm going to try to procure. But if I miss him, I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, I think they did a really good job on this dude. Like, that is truly, that is definitely the Age of Extinction Grimlock. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at this thing going, wow. I am wondering though, he looked a little dirtied up in the movie. And when I look at these pictures, he almost looks too clean. Now, here's where I get stuck on something like that. I think a wash would improve it greatly, right? Just a black wash or maybe a dark gray. Probably a black wash, considering he's got a lot of gray on him. But just that wash would make him, it would give him that dirty look that I think he's missing. But also he's $190, and I wouldn't want to do that because I'd be afraid of ruining the figure. What's your guys' take on something like that? Jada Starcraft would be an absolute fantasy come true. Jada could knock it out of the park, assuming, of course, that they actually released the figs. Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, so if they're Warhammer with some sci-fi and tech bits on them, what do we have? So the classified team does a good job, but I kind of don't want Hasbro to get any more properties under their belt just because I feel like G.I. Joe, I think they do a pretty good job, but they're not able to do as good a job with properties that they have loaned out, that they're licensing or licensors for, or licensees for. Good Lord, words are hard. So I don't think they're able to treat them as well as they treat G.I. Joe. So I wouldn't want it to be Hasbro. I don't want it to be McFarlane. I think it's too early to call Mattel, but I'd be curious to see what Mattel would do with designs like that. As I'm thinking this through, Star, I think you might be right. It would be either them, either Jada, or a 1/18th scale, because I'm assuming StarCraft has some pretty cool vehicles. 1/18th scale done by Takara. I think that would be pretty good too, or Acid Rain. But yeah, in the 1/12 space, I think we're looking at Jada, possibly Mattel somewhere down the line. Anton, he is now, David Tennant was the voice of Scrooge McDuck on the new DuckTales. He was in one of the Harry Potter movies, and of course he was Doctor Who. Okay. So I didn't know, I think I knew there was a new DuckTales, but I didn't watch it. Let's see, one of the Harry Potter movies. I don't know which one that was. I saw the first 4 and quickly forgot them, which is terrible. My bad. And of course, he was Doctor Who. I knew he was Doctor Who, but I haven't seen any of those episodes. So yeah, again, I think Grimlock here looks really good. But if I miss him, I miss him. And that's kind of, I think that's kind of just priorities shifting ever so slightly and interest. I mean, I'm clearly interested in him, but there's so much I'm interested in that suddenly here's a $190 figure that you can purchase. I'm like, well, I don't know. Not to take anything away from the figure. I think he looks, like I said earlier, I think he looks really cool. I mean, this is the one they killed it on this year, as far as I'm concerned. Although the Liege Maximo looks really good, too. But that's just me nerding out about Transformers, as I'm wont to do. Now, if I get out of there, let's keep on rocking in the free world. Oh, look at this, ladies and gents. Okay, this is not 1/12 scale, but that ship kind of sailed. We have a stunt replica sword of Lion-O's, the Sword of Omens. Okay. How many different views? So we've got 2 of the same pictures, but then we've got that one with the cat's eye. Thundercats. Who gets these, by the way? Like, and that's not judgmental. I kind of want the Matrix. And there's no reason for me to have that Matrix, but I kind of want that Matrix. So yeah, this isn't me saying, who gets these? This is me saying, is anybody in the chat somebody who picks up a lot of these just 1-to-1 scale replicas so they can have them in their place? Because this looks really good. Gentlemen, I can't believe I did it again. Did you see that? Did you catch that I blew it and had to come back in? Luckily, I've done it enough where I knew how. Now, let's go back into that BBTS. Yeah, that's a good looking sword. Now, backing out there, we have the Power Sword from Motu. Although I don't remember it being all those colors, like that blue jewel in the middle of it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not as sold on this one as I am the Thundercat, the Sword of Omens. What are you guys thinking here? You kicked yourself. I did. I kicked my own ace. Oh God, that looks ugly. He does not look like Grimlock. He doesn't look like our Grimlock, Anton, but I don't think he looks that bad, honestly. I think they did a good job. But what do we have? Now we've got a smaller version, I think. Oh, wait, no. Klingon Tog? I don't know who that is. But what do you think, guys? What do you think if you're a Star Trek fan? Are you thinking this is pretty sweet? Because I know nothing. Star, I think that there's a big push for StarCraft by Microsoft since they're about to purchase Activision Blizzard. I've heard rumblings about it. It's why there's talk of StarCraft 3 in the future. So what's the current one then? Like, is it StarCraft 2 Star? Because I mean, truly, if there's going to be this huge push, and if it's another way Microsoft can make money, then I can see them licensing out a lot of toys or a lot of statues, a lot of all the things. That would be pretty cool for all the StarCraft fans out there. Whew, all right, I'm going to shut down the ye old BBTS. I'm sure I could probably find the answer to that particular question. Which StarCraft is coming out in 2020? Oh, I typed 2024. Not cool, man. See, a new unannounced StarCraft first-person or third-person shooter. Oh no, did I just do something? Okay. All right, and wait, I keep saying Anton. Star, I've got something for you here. Give me just a second. And I'll just read it straight off here. A new unannounced StarCraft first-person or third-person shooter is rumored to be revealed at BlizzCon in September 2026. Led by a Far Cry developer, this project is expected to be a major AAA title for Blizzard, potentially featuring large-scale battlefield-style combat. Oh, Star, I kind of feel bad that I just read that, unless you've heard it before. Anton, okay, see you guys. Remember, buy more toys, always be happy, buy more comic books, and always have fun. Anton, you too, man. Thanks as always for coming by. Star, that Klingon knife would be, let's see, if it were painted realistically. Ah, gotcha. Ah, lame sauce. Outback, I got just about all the MCU prop replicas, Infinity Gauntlet, Nano Gauntlet, Mjolnir, Stormbreaker, and various helmets. Iron Man, War Machine, Ant-Man, Star-Lord, etc. So I'm guessing you dig them, Outback. What did you think of, like, how's the quality on those? I'm curious because I've seen them, but I've never held one or tried messing with it. Star, I think this push is why Joy Toy got the license and the miniatures game is launching. Sold. Oh no, take care, Anton. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Star. I think you're right. I think we're looking at a big push here. Sci-Fi, I own the green, blue, and yellow Lantern power batteries and rings, Spider-Man's web shooters, Thor's hammer, Cap's shield, Magneto's helmet, Ben 10's Omnitrix, and more one-to-one scale replica props. Dang, guys. I have none of it. I've never been crazy interested in it, but I know that if I saw any of these collections, I'd just be in awe. I'd just be going, wow, like in a good way. I would just, yeah, that would be cool to see. Send me pictures, guys. Shoot some of that stuff. Send it to Toypixx on Instagram, and I'll start actually checking that. Or just send it to toypixx@gmail.com. But yeah, I'd be really interested in seeing some of that stuff. All right, guys, it is that time. So you know what that means. It's time to shut her down. So as always, thanks for coming by this fine evening because you could have done anything else. And instead you chose to come here and hang out with all of us. So thanks again. And until next time, have fun and happy snapping. See ya. Ooh, all right, Outback. Thank you, sir. Push is real. Maybe Jada can get the license for StarCraft Pigs. Joy Toy Pigs are 118. That's what I'm saying, Star. And now Have a good one, gang. We'll talk to you Thursday or Monday. Yes, Monday. One day I'll get my days straight.